This has to be one of the most surprising guns I've ever tested, and we're gonna break that down in this video and go over why this really changed my mind from my first impression. We're gonna be breaking down the Walther PDP steel frame, and this video is a long time coming. So we're gonna be going over my thoughts after a couple years of owning this and where we're at with this and if I recommend this gun. This is the best out-of-the-box handgun I've ever used. If you've been a viewer of mine for a while, then you know I don't use that term loosely. This thing absolutely blew my mind. When you first see this, everything kind of looks a little plain, maybe a little basic. The trigger looks, you know, like a normal trigger, nothing fancy. The sights, nothing special. The grip, it's kind of chunky, maybe a little bulky looking. Like, okay, the gun's probably cool. Then you put it in your hand, you're like, okay, that fits my hand really nicely. And now obviously, I know everybody's grips and everyone's hands are different. So this is my opinion. But this gun just fit my hand so well. And then I went out and shot it for the first time. And I have been hooked ever since. This gun is absolutely incredible. The grip texture, the feel of the gun, the weight, the trigger for a striker fire trigger is absolutely incredible. Very impressed with the trigger. And you can actually upgrade this trigger to a better version. There is a ton of customizability with this gun from the factory, and I like that. You can get magwells, triggers, different length slides, comps, a bunch of different things to change this up and customize it straight from the factory so you have all that warranty that you want, that you don't have to get the gun and start customizing or sending it out and get all the things you want to do with it. So first, let's just break down this gun, going from the top to the bottom, going over those things, and then we'll go over a little more about my experience. So the iron sights on this, I shot this iron sight only for a while when I first got this because I really wanted to get a good feel of the iron. Because whenever I test the gun, I don't throw an optic on it right away, even though that's the preferred method for me. I want to see how the iron sights are, and then I'll switch and put an optic on and test it from there. The iron sights at first, I just wasn't impressed. They're just your basic white dot sights, and I thought, wow, I'm not gonna wanna shoot these for a while. I'm gonna get pretty bored of these, and I'm gonna throw a red dot pretty soon. I actually find myself to really like these sights. The gun is incredibly accurate for what I was shooting. I'm very happy with it, very comfortable with this gun. The slides, you have nice slide serrations up front. You have a 4, 4.5, and a 5-inch barrel. You have even more variants in the polymer version. And like I said, I'm saying all these different options this thing had, you know, polymer versions, all these different upgrades you can put on it, the different lengths. You really can find a PDP that fits exactly what you want, depending on who you are and what your needs are. So you got the nice slide serrations up front to be able to help you manipulate that gun up front if you want to. You've got them on the back below your optics plate. This is optics cut. This is one of the downsides I have to say about this gun that I don't like. So it does not come with plates when you buy it. You have to send them an email and say, hey, I want the plate for the RMR or the Acra or whatever. And then you have to wait pretty long to be able to get those plates. So that is a downside to me. I wish they would just throw all the plates in the package. I think every handgun company should do that, especially nowadays. Running optics is really the future. I know a lot of people might disagree with that. We'll get people in here that are like, iron sights are the only way. I understand iron sights are good, and that's not a problem. Red dots are absolutely the future, and the same thing with rifles. You can run the red iron sights, that works, but red dots are the way to go. That argument will probably go on forever, and feel free to argue about it in the comments. I'm sure I'll get some negative comments on that one. But I would love to see them have plates on everything and not make the end user have to wait. If I wanted to run a red dot on this immediately, you're just not gonna do that. You're gonna have to wait the 4 to 6 weeks to be able to get that plate back and then be able to use it. So for me, in my situation, it was fine because I was running the iron sights to test it first, so then it came in and I put the red dot on. So it worked out, but that is a downside that I hope to see them fix. Going down, you have that steel frame, very nice feeling frame, great weight to it. Now it is a little bit heavy if you want to conceal something like this, but for most of you, when you get a steel frame gun like this, that's probably not your intended use. You're probably not looking for concealed carry. You're probably looking for a more duty use or a competition style gun, home defense, something that's not necessarily trying to be as concealable and less weight as possible. So you'd probably go with the polymer version if you decide to go that, but for the steel frame, has a great weight to it, but it is a little heavy if you're looking for conceal, and that's what your envision is. Now for your slide stop or your slide release here. So this one, I like. It is really easy to manipulate if you want to use it. Now I will say, some people have said they've had issues with that holding back from being able to lock their slide back because of how it kind of seems like a ledge to be able to put your thumb on, to be able to rest it, or be able to put a little pressure on when you're shooting. Now I agree, it is, but I did not find myself having that that issue. Now, it could be just because of my grip or how I hold the gun, or maybe because my hands aren't super big, so I didn't rest it off that. But me personally, I did not have that problem, but I could see how it could be because it is a large ledge. Going down to your magazine release, the mags drop out incredibly freely, and it is very easy to manipulate. It is not ambidextrous, so you do not have it on your right side as well to be able to use both, but it is very easy to use, and I found myself being able to do reloads very quickly and easily, especially with the fact that I'm used to other guns. I do a lot of Glocks or SIGs, so switching over to a Walther, this is my most recent Walther in a while. I have other Walthers, but they're pretty old, so getting this upgrade, being able to grab this right out of the box, I felt very comfortable with the gun. Bam, wardrobe change. Now let's get into my relationship with Walther. They did send me this gun. I did not spend my own money on it. Now let's get into the companies that are incredibly helpful with the channel and things I do here. That is Brownells and Hold Up Display. Go to my website, tacticalvisor.net. That is my website. Go there and check out how cool Brownells is. And Hold Up Display, these are storage racks that you guys can get that is really cool. A lot of it behind me. And you guys can email Tyler@holdupdisplay.com and get $50 off your order. That's also going to stack with their tier system deals that they do. So tier 1, you save an additional $50, so you'll save $100 on your order. And if you get to tier 5, you'll save over $2,000 off your order. And you could build a custom vault room, a custom storage room. You could store really anything. And you can click this link here that'll take you directly to a full video going over this full breakdown of the room if you guys are interested to watch after this. Let's get back into the video. Now going over your trigger, you have a large trigger guard, so you're able to put gloved fingers in fairly easily, and the trigger blew me away. I have to say, when you see a lot of this stuff, it just looks basic. The whole gun is just kind of blocky and I don't want to say blah, but like it just doesn't have a ton of like pizzazz to it like some guns. You have like the tritium sights, or you get the real fancy looking flat face triggers or different designs. It just looks pretty basic, but then you actually use it. And oh my goodness, I know people love this view here. This is a lot of take up here, but not mush. Just take up here for your wall, and then just nothing. It just feels great. Reset, really, really nice and positive. Back to that trigger pull. I love it. Very nice out of the box trigger. I will not change that. I can see myself maybe upgrading to the newer trigger if I bought a different one. I like this one, I'm content with it. I'm not gonna upgrade it, but if I were to buy another one, I would definitely look into the other trigger just because I'm curious on how that one is. Now, going down to your grip. Now this is something that might be a little controversial. They added some little grooves, maybe. It's kind of, I wouldn't even call them grooves, honestly. Maybe some like swells or a little bit of a design. Now, I'm usually a little indifferent about doing that with your grips because when it comes to finger grooves or swells or different designs on your grip, everyone's hands and grips are different. So some people will say, this is the best grip I ever felt. Other people will be like, you know, it just didn't feel right in the way I hold the gun, and that's completely understandable. But I think they did it subtly enough that it's not going to really make a difference whether your hands are a little bit different. The texture is very nice without being overly aggressive. It looks really good, and the grooves do a nice job of having a little bit more grip to the gun. It's got a little bit of a swell to it, but I would say all in all, I'm really happy with the grip. And honestly, this whole gun I'm incredibly happy with. Like, this is probably by far my favorite gun, handgun of 2024. Obviously, it's 2025, we're in a new year, we've got new handguns coming out, but as of 2024, this is probably my favorite handgun of the year. The Genesis Gen 12 was my favorite gun of the year, but this is my favorite handgun of the year, and if you've shot one, you know what I'm saying. If you haven't shot one, I highly recommend you at least go to a range, get your hands on one, put some rounds through it, feel what I feel, and feel what I feel. I want you to virtually put your hands where mine are, and we can feel this together. We're getting to a weird place. Get one of these, try it out yourself. You're gonna love it. The magazines, this is gonna be a really weird thing. These are the best mags I've ever felt to load. You know how you get to the last round and it's like you are fighting Hulk Hogan to get that thing back down to be able to get that final round through? These things loaded incredibly well right out of the package. Really like that. Some mags, I always fully load, leave it like that for a little bit to kind of break them in, or after you've shot them for a while, they break in. This one I did not have that experience with. Again, kind of an odd thing to note, but something I wanted to mention just because when I first loaded up, I was like, oh, I fully loaded it. And not at one time did I need like any kind of tool to help me. Like, it was just very, very simple, very easy. The metal magazines, they hold 18 rounds. These are 9mm guns. And so far, no issues with the magazines. They come with 2 of them. I believe some of the other ones come with 3, but the one that I got came with 2 of them. So now let's go over one of the probably most important things. That's gonna be accuracy and the function of the firearm. This gun functioned very, very well over the year or so that I've had this. I put over 800 rounds through this gun and only had a handful of malfunctions. And out of those malfunctions, I think they were pretty much ammo related from what I could tell in my experience of shooting guns. There was no weird like double feeds or failure to extract or anything that gun probably would have caused. I used a slew of different ammo from the cheapest you can get from aluminum case to some more higher tier ammunition, which is something I always do with a new handgun, trying to see if it would have issues with certain brands or certain styles. And the majority of us are shooting that cheaper brand ammo for target shooting because I don't want to spend the real good money on that stuff and just go slinging it down range. So we are the same, I understand. So I try to test it with all types of ammo, and this thing ran really, really well. Accuracy-wise, everything I pointed at, it was seeming to hit, which makes me feel good. It really feels like when I missed, I knew why I missed. I went, okay, I pulled or I did something wrong, but when I hit, it was like, yes, I felt on. I don't want to sound too fanboy of it, but man, I love this gun. I really, really like this Walther. If you guys have been viewers of me for a while, you know I'm a big Glock guy. That's what I carry a lot, and that's what I shoot the most. This is a gun I could see myself getting away from Glock with. That's how much I like this gun. Like, I would actually stop carrying Glocks to carry a Walther PDP. I am incredibly impressed with this gun. I'm really excited to see what Walther continues to do with this platform. They've already added a bunch of customization. They've already added a ton of different styles and things that you can do to make this more personal, but they can do more, and I know they will, so I'm really excited to see that. And I'm very, very happy with this gun so far. Now, where's the downsides to this? What is holding everybody back from having this? Because I've watched reviews on this gun, and there really isn't a ton of negativity about it. And it's because Walther did a really good job, and that's really good to see. The downside to this gun is the price. You're looking at $1,800 to $2,000, depending which style you get. It is expensive. So it's gonna be one of those guns that you're going to want to put a lot of research time into to be able to spend that kind of money on. Now, I will say the polymer versions, they can go downwards of $700. So you have a big wide range that you can choose from depending what you want. But if you want the steel frame, which is what I recommend, what I really, really like, it's gonna be that extra money. But that is one of the downsides, is it is a pretty expensive gun. Now you can see I've had this gun for a while because obviously it's a B-roll. It's showing beautiful sunny weather, wearing a t-shirt, and beautiful trees, and just being pretty out. And right now we're going through ice storms, and it's gross and it's freezing. But you can see I've had this gun for a while, I've been testing it for a while. So I think that's important when testing a gun like this, is you want to have that time frame. And I really like being able to test guns for long periods. That's why you don't see me posting reviews of guns immediately the second they come out, because I don't put enough rounds to them. I don't get enough time with them. I want to be able to give you guys accurate information on a gun. I do first looks videos where I tell you, okay, here's my first impression, and here's what it's done in the first 200 rounds, but that's not my full review. I want to be able to wait to be able to get the accurate amount of rounds through it, to get my opinion, to be able to share with you guys, so you guys can make the best purchase decision possible. Now, I'm going to say this one more time because I think it is really important. And it's something that I don't take lightly. It's something that I would only say if I truly mean it. This gun is the best out-of-the-box handgun I have ever shot. And I've shot a handful of handguns, tested a lot of different handguns, a lot of pre-release guns, a lot of guns that have been out. And I think there's something to say about that. Very happy with this. Walther, you guys did a great job. Really look forward to see what you do in the future. I hope this was able to help you guys make a better purchase decision, decide if this is a gun you want to go to, or maybe if you want to do more research, or if maybe you want to hold off because it's not exactly what you're looking for. It's always my goal to help you spend your money in the best way possible. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are looking to help support the channel and the things I do here, there's a couple ways to do that. Down in the description, there's a link to my website, tacticalvisor.net. That is my website. Go in there. It's incredibly helpful. Check out how is their clothing. They donate 5% proceeds to charity. That's really cool. And they have a Tactical Advisor shirt, which is even cooler. Well, they're both cool. They're both pretty equally cool. If you buy the Tactical Advisor t-shirt, you then donate 5% of proceeds, which is double cool. So it's pretty awesome. And I just appreciate you guys so much. We do a live stream and a podcast every Saturday on Rumble and X, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'd love for you guys to check that out. Sometimes that change varies. I always update the Instagram to let everyone know, but I'd love to have you guys there. Telegram, we do daily deals on locals. We do exclusive content giveaways. There's all that stuff in the description, or if you guys go to my website, you can see a lot more information. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all.